What's up, Planeswalkers? Theurx6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena, and let's get ready to throw down. Today's Magic Mania is brought to you by Flipside Gaming. Be sure to head over to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. When you do so, you'll get entered in to win one of 3 sweet merch of Richard Kane Ferguson, one of the greatest Magic arts of all time. Oh yeah. Today we're playing a deck with a character weighing in at so many pounds from parts unknown. It's the Boar God. I'm very sorry about that. I hope that wasn't too loud, but it was fucking fun to do. Anyway, so today we're playing a deck that people have requested. It's been on the short list for a little bit, and it's the Boar God. It's the Boar God. So this deck is essentially a rampy, mid-rangey Gruul Midrange deck that aims to take a decent amount of advantage of Ilharg the Raze-Boar. What's really nice about Ilharg is that they keep coming back again and again and again. It's fantastic. So in this Pork and Memes deck, we're running 27 creatures. It's a lot of damage. We're running that many creatures because of the fact that we want to be able to maximize our use of Ilharg. And I believe, other than the Rhythm of the Wilds, all of our non-creatures are Planeswalkers. They kind of help out with the removal aspect, as well as the whole dealing with cards aspect, because we don't have any removal in the deck, other than the things that we have from our Planeswalkers and our creatures over in the top end. Now, let's go through the deck, shall we? We have 4 Llanowar Elves. This is a fantastic rampy card that you can play on turn 1. 3 Paradise Druids, which they have hexproof, so that's nice. They can't bolt your bird. And they can add 1 mana of any color. There's some double greens into double reds, so theoretically the mana can get a bit trippy, but for the most part, it's kind of fine because we are just a 2-color deck. But she does help out a little bit, and she ramps into our 4 mana plays. Gosh. We are then running a 3-3 split of Merfolk Branchwalker and Jadelight Ranger, very similar to the ramp cards, in that these allow us to get to the land draws that we can. So, we're going to be able to either chuck something in the graveyard if we don't need it and we need a land instead, or we just draw a land, and that's always nice. What's really nice about these 2 cards in particular is that they work really nice with the Raze-Boar. As long as they don't die in combat, we're going to be able to keep getting some sweet explore triggers, getting that repeated value. That said, Jadelight Ranger is much more likely to survive than Branchwalker. So, yeah. Anyway. The other 3 drops that we have are 3 Gruul Spellbreakers, 2 Domri, Anarch, Bolas, and 2 Rhythm Wild. The Gruul Spellbreakers are essentially here because it's a Chungi girl, and this is her Chungi world. You can make her a 4-4, have a good blocker. You can make her a 3-3, start shoving in there. The hexproof is fantastic because that means on your turn you can't get settled. The bane of big reds everywhere. Domri and Rhythm of the Wild kind of fulfill a similar purpose, in that they let our creatures not be countered. So this one, it's just, you play it down, all your creatures can't be countered. This one, you add a bit, creature spells you cast that turn can't be countered. Yeah, it's very similar. That said, Domri is nice because it allows you to fight other creatures, potentially getting in for more damage. And there's just an innate boost of +1 to our creatures, which is reasonable, right? That's not something to completely ignore. That turns our Llanowar Elves into, pikers, I think is what they're called. Shut up, people outside. I am recording. And, turns our Paradise Druids into, what are those, blades of the 6th Pride or something like that? 2 mana 3/1s. Rhythm of the Wild, though, gives all of our non-token creatures haste. Riot. So haste. Which is fantastic in conjunction with the Raze-Boar. So instead of waiting a turn, we can just put Chungi Boy down, attack in, get another Chungi Boy. Fantastic. In our 4-drop slot, we're running a split of 3 Rekindling Phoenix and 3 Domri the Chaos Bringer. The Rekindling Phoenix are just a fantastic card overall. If you're playing Gruul monsters of some kind, I definitely suggest running Rekindling Phoenix, even though this owl doesn't really work with our Chungus, because it's just a bird. It is a very nice card to have because it's really annoying for your opponents to remove, and it's a good attacker and a good blocker. Domri, Chaos Bringer, +1, gives things riot, fantastic, absolutely what you want. Additionally, the -3 allows us to keep stocked on our creature spells. That's what he and Vivien are really for, is to make sure that we can, keep having some sort of gas to pump into our board of just Chungi after Chungi. The -8, if you get there, you probably just win. They're beasts and not boars, and I have no idea why they made that decision. They're boars. They're literally boars. And they made them beasts? I don't know. I mean, that's a pig nose. I mean, that's a pig nose. That's all I'm saying. The being the myth, the legend. It's not a man. Ilharg the Raze-Boar. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find very high quality art for this, so the thumbnail might not be the best quality, but I don't think people are going to care when they're going to see this Chungi boy. 5 mana, 6/6 trampler. Cool. I kind of wish it had haste, but it'd be broken half if it had haste, I think, because when it attacks, you may put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, and you bounce it at the end step. So what this means is you can get away with funny enter the battlefield triggers. It's real nice. Also, it has the guide clause. So what's really nice about Ilharg is that you get ETB triggers. And my top end is just a bunch of, well, mostly just a bunch of cool ETB triggers. We're also running a single God-Eternal Rhonas because Rhonas doubles the power of each other creature, and that works really nicely with Ilharg. That's actually how I won my last game, is you attack with an Ilharg, you put a God-Eternal Rhonas into play, this becomes a sweet old 12 power trampling boar, and your opponent's like, how do I deal with this? Because I got to put a bunch in front of this, and then they still have a 5/5 to contend with, which has Death Touch, of course. So it's just a very nice thing to have here. Vivien Reid, as I said, very similar to Domri. She helps us maintain the gas with her +1. Her -3 allows us to get rid of something that's pesky and annoying, and our -8 wins us the game. Period. And then, of course, for our super top end, we're playing some sick 1-ofs. You could obviously make this deck better. You could even make this into more of a mono green deck that happens to run Ilharg. I didn't go that route because I wanted to really make it a Gruul deck and make it feel Gruul. But I've seen plenty of lists that do just run like Pelt Collectors into Steel Leaf Champions into Ghaltas. I'm like, it's not fun. So I decided to do some fun-ofs in the top end here. Burning Sun's Avatar is fantastic because you can keep rebuying that 3 damage to the dome, 3 damage to a creature, or 3 damage to the dome, or a Planeswalker, 3 damage to a creature. So, you know, very helpful. And it's a 6/6. You know, it's not going to die too bad. Ravager Wurm, once again, fantastic ETB. You can make it bigger, which you're always going to do if you're putting it in with Ilharg, in order to, you know, make it a 5/6. And then you can either blow up one of the lands or kill one of the creatures. And you can do it again and again and again as long as it lives. It's so good. Pelakka Wurm, it gains you life. Against those aggro decks, somehow, you can gain life. That said, I've absolutely played Pelakka Wurm on turn 5, I think? I think it was turn 5. So, you know, not terrible. And if it dies, you draw a card, which is always nice. And then, of course, Ghalta, it's a 12/12 trampler. That's all I gotta say. This is our mana base. It's pretty simple. We're running 2 blast zones because aggro decks run a lot of 1-ofs. I have Pork and Memes too here. That's where my sideboard is, which I'll talk to you about in the after the games. I did play only 3 practice games today. That's because I just finished my final exam for my statistics class for my graduate course for my 2nd semester in grad school. And I'm pretty sure I did quite well, but I did need a bit of a rest. So I'm recording this not early. That cherry drank. I won all 3 of them, so that was cool. The last one was definitely the hardest. But let's get into this game first. I get to go first. Not a terrible hand, but it's definitely not great. The reason it's not terrible is because we can play this Paradise Druid, and we don't have to worry about it dying, unless, of course, our opponent plays something that just deals 1 damage to all creatures. Like, no, because that wouldn't happen until whatever, but yeah. Chain Whirler can kill this, but we're going to go and play the Forest down first. Next time, we're definitely playing the Paradise Druid because we want to be able to play Rhythm the Wild. Or, as I like to call it, is the rhythm of the night. No, I messed it up, I'm sorry. This is the rhythm of the wild. The wild. Shoot a beam. So they're on red-black. Red-black, not a lot of information. On red-black, I actually really want to play Rekindling Phoenix. Because if I draw another land, then I can rhythm into Merfolk Branchwalker. And we all know that rhythm is a dancer. So I think I'm going to Rekindling. It might kill my Paradise Druid, but I guess that's fine. Because of the fact that I have 3 lands, right? So it should be okay. We are running 24 lands just because our average CMC is like 3.8 or something like that. We're playing... Oh, it's Grixis Control. There's plenty of Chungi and things like that. So this is Grixis Control. So it could be an Ionize here. I'm going to start off by just hitting him in the face. Cool. This is almost certainly Ionize, I think. I actually think I want to play a Merfolk Branchwalker here. Okay, so they don't have an Eyes. And that's exactly what I wanted to see, baby. Oh yeah. The reason I knew that wasn't an Eyes, or at least that they couldn't counter a creature spell. Bolas. Well, that's just rude. I guess Gruul Spellbreaker. I get double Riot, but I feel like I want Jadelight Ranger a little bit more. Is that true? Domri. 4. If I draw land, I can actually play Gruul Spellbreaker and have 3 instances of Riot. I'll drop the Jadelight. Oh, baby, I drew a land. Alright, so... I guess it doesn't actually matter. Let's do it like this. Boom, Domri. Plus... Red doesn't actually matter. Play this. Have triple Riot. +1/+1 counter. +1/+1 counter. And haste. Baby, I love the way. Do I... Yeah, I think I'm fine attacking here. Because even, like, if my opponent just... Ritual Soots me, then I still can just refill with Domri. So I'm pretty sure I just whole hog them. They essentially have to block here, and I'm totally fine with this. Like, obviously they can Crab the Canarium. I'm fine with that because I have an active Domri. They can Ritual Soot, which I'm fine with. Yep, because I have an active Domri. And I just get to draw a card here. Sure. Unfortunate, but sure.
These go here, those go there.
Okay, good. I only get 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna get the best ones, I guess. The ones that are strongest. I'll play this and give it haste. And if it dies and comes back, then I get to give it a +1/+1. Always nice. So, the first practice game we played was against another Gruul deck. Yeah, it was more of a traditional Gruul deck. So I killed them with the fact that I had Chungi. You're gonna kill my... Oh. Okay. If you killed this, he'd be at 7, and yeah, he'd be dead. Cool. We're 4-0 right now. Which I'm surprised by, but hey. Boar God gives us things. Yeah, the Gruul deck, we just had better things. Like, they didn't have Rekindling Phoenix, and we did. And I think that played a big role, because we were able to just block them out and then get to our Chunguses. We got a Ilharg into a Pelakka Wurm into a Pelakka Wurm, and they were like, yeah, I can't deal with this value. The second game, Mario Lynn Kirby? Okay, I don't get it. This is not a great hand. At all. But the greed within me wants to keep it and play the Branchwalker because we have the draws. Terrible idea, but I'm doing it because greed. If you don't want to see greed, watch someone else. Yes, we have been rewarded for our greed. Ban Proliferate. We murdered them so hard. I assume this is going to be Aristocrats or something like that. Merfolk Branchwalker, turn Dose, or turn 3, play this. This is actually... those are tokens, damn. Well, Less Owned might still be helpful in this deck. Yep, looks like it is Aristocrats, which is fine, I suppose. No blocks, don't want to give them any value here. So I could play Jadelight Ranger, but bump that. Gonna play Rhythm of the Night. And Notex. My Discord just beeped. Sure. I would block the Midnight Reaper, I think. Yeah, dude, I'm totally fine taking 2 damage. Especially when I have a sweet Pelakka Wurm. So we're gonna go and play this. I could play Domri, but Domri doesn't really do anything for me, and I can play Ilharg next turn. So I'm gonna Jadelight Ranger. I'm gonna go just give it 2 to +1/+1 counter. I think I might Library Graveyard this, just so she has maximum +1/+1 counters. No attacks again. So as I said, like, this deck definitely suffers from no removal. There's removal you can play. I can't remember what exactly it's called. Dude, I'm taking 2 damage, like, all day. Okay. So I can Ilharg. I'm going to give it haste. I'm going to attack with it. I'm going to put Pelakka Wurm in. I'm going to give it a +1/+1 counter. And I gain 7. And I'm attacking for 14 points of trample damage. Even if they kill this, I get to play another one and give it haste. Oh, baby boars, man. Yeah, Band Proliferate, they had to play a turn 2 Huatli's Raptor or whatever. Wow, you're going in on killing my Ilharg. I mean, I'm going to take a bit of damage, but I mean, I can even just pull my punches. Oh, those aren't even going to die. So I'm fine with that. Yeah, I want to kill these two cuz screw those guys. Then they're going to gain 4 life, right? There's 4 triggers. Yeah. Oh, they're going to lose all of it because they're going to draw cards. Sure. And I might as well put it back in. And this bounces, that's fine. So, because I can just play it again next turn. Always fun. Yeah, I can't remember what they played on turn 3, but I think I went first, and I had a decent ramp hand, so by the time they were able to get to Teferi... Oh, did they play turn 3 Teferi on turn 3 and plus? I think they did. I think that's what they did, and it just didn't affect the board. Because if they'd minused, I had a decently wide board, because I had like multiple Llanowar Elves or something like that, and I was able to just murder my opponent. So Vindictive Vampire... Ugh, stop having life gain. That said, I don't care, I have Pelakka Wurm. Attack me. Do it. See if I care. I'll probably attack with Jadelight Ranger as well. Yeah, I don't even remotely care, dude. Yeah, man. If I run out of gas, I can do that. Haste. Attack. I might as well attack here as well. Just put on the pressure. They can block with this, though. I guess that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it means that they can't kill my Ilharg. Put that in play. Give it a 1/1 counter. Gain 7 again. Back up to 23. Too easy. Sure. Jump the Jadelight. Take 14 and die. Because these are triggers. So if they don't block enough to survive, they're dead. That's not how this game works, my friend. That's not how this game works at all. I literally don't care if these die. Yeah. So the thing is, the triggers want to go on the stack, but they can't because you're dead. My opponent, I don't think, knew that. If he had lifelink, that'd be different, and that's one of the reasons I didn't block the Hunted Witness, is because they would give them lifelink. I'm 5-0 with this deck, and that feels strange. But yeah, those are triggers, and triggers can't go on the stack until someone receives priority. But before someone can receive priority, state-based actions are checked, and one of those state-based actions is, can a player lose the game? And a player can lose the game by needing to draw a card with no library, by... I go first, so I think this is probably fine. Draw a card with no library, having 0 life, or 10 infect. There are other things, of course, but those are like the main ones. It sounds like it's raining. But this is not a rain zone. Oh, going up against Gruul deck. Going up against the Gruul deck. I'm going to be greedy as fuck and play Rhythm of the Wilds. And depending on what they play here, I might play another one. No Light Ferox. Rude. I guess I can just play a Rekindling Phoenix. Give me something to block with. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I can't Jadelight Ranger, yeah. I'll just do this. I'll get a +1/+1 counter. It doesn't actually matter. But I can block this at the very least. Maybe my opponent's playing like Hexproof or something? Easy block. I don't care if they kill my egg. Because I have to use a resource for it. A resource for it. Oh, War Boss. Alright. Sure. Sure. Another land. So I could attack in and try to race my opponent. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Haste. We're going all in on... We're definitely attacking with Ilharg. Are we also going to attack with our Rekindling Phoenix? Yes. I'm going to put a Jadelight Ranger in. I'm going to give it +1/+1 counter. And we're going to put that in the graveyard. There we go. Seems good to me. Sure. Don't even care. My point is down to 9. And next turn, I can play Rhythm of the Wild and put in a Gruul Spellbreaker. If I draw another Chungus, I can play Rhythm of the Wilds, play my Spellbreaker, give it 2 +1/+1 counters, and haste, and I can put the Chungus in. Seems pretty good to me. That's a mistake. That's correct. Didn't draw a Chungus. Incredibly unfortunate. How much does this cost? Put extra charge counters. It costs a lot. But I am going to go ahead and put a Rhythm of the Wild to play. Thank you very much. Do I still just whole hog it? I mean, I have to. It's literally a hog. I can't not whole hog it, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess. And the reason I'm going to use the boar here is just so I can actually put more counters on Blast Zone, so I can eventually kill things. So all attacks. Put in my Spellbreaker. It also means that I get nothing but 1/1 counters. That said 8/8 for a second. I was like, excuse me, what? So yeah, we're just attacking with a casual 17 points of damage, 12 of which is trample, 5 of which can't be blocked. Feeling pretty good. Yeah, we get to kill all their stuff. Seems good to me. Goodbye. Sure, they killed my Spellbreaker, but I don't care. They're at 4. I have a Rekindling Phoenix. And every creature I draw has double Riot. Running Riot. Kill-tacular. Kill-trocity. Kilimanjaro. I don't actually know the... I don't know the orders of it. Hogging it up, going whole hog, killing all people. There are no survivors. I am 6-0 with this stupid fucking deck. I can't believe this. I mean, of course we're playing in unranked, but still. But actually still. Son of a Bishop, funny name. And the last one was, the last practice game was against, oh, come on, man. We played this on 2, I guess. Ugh. Trash. No, pull the mulligan. Gonna do it again. Want to see how fast I can mulligan? Want to see me do it again? Last game was against Orzhov. I legit wrote down Orzhov removal spells because they played a turn 2 Adonto Vanguard, and then every turn subsequent, every subsequent turn, whatever, they played a removal spell on my creatures, and I was like, excuse me? I was like, bish, who you think you is? So I guess here I'm just gonna play like a bunch of Spellbreakers and try to murder my opponent to death, I guess. What are you playing on turn 2? The Sapling deck, I see. Well, not to worry. Gonna go ahead and play this sweet... Well, now I kind of want to play Jadelight Ranger so I can guarantee a Vivien Reid next turn, but at the same time, like, fuck it. I'm just gonna haste on in there. Yeah, I was about to say there's no reason to block that. So is this a Sapling deck, or is this just a Tokens deck? My assumption is just a Tokens deck. Not many reasons to be playing actual Saplings. Legion's Landing, yep. Don't even care. Attack me, I dare you. Attack me, I dare you. Do it, coward. You only kill a man. Coward. So I'm gonna go ahead and Jadelight Ranger. holding priority? Oh. Do you want to know what's funny? They're holding priority because in their hand is a March of the Multitudes. That's what I know. Because of the fact that they have priority, or they're on full control. But I doubt that's it. I think that they have a March of the Multitudes. So let's see if they desire to flip their Legion's Landing. Next turn I can Vivien and pop it if I want. Not sure if I will want, but I might want. Nope. Rhythm of the Wild is insufficient. So I think I might Vivien Reid, kind of force their hand into attacking. But the question is,
I've
do
lost
I
so much already. I won't lose more.
Yeah, shut up, Vivien. I don't think I have to care about Legion's Landing at this point. I'm fairly certain they're just going to play March of the Multitudes, which is unfortunate. If they did that, they would be doing it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd be able to block 2 things. I'd block, obviously, those, and then 7 would get through to definitely kill Vivien anyway. Oh god, Shauna would be quite large. Yeah, I think I just still want to look for another land, I suppose.
Come to me.
But Ilharg! This isn't fair! I want Ilharg. I need to play it safe. The unfortunate thing is I'm pretty sure I will just lose this game. This deck is not as good at dealing with super wide decks, especially token decks, because Blaststone comes in with a counter on it already. March of the Multitudes for 5, yep. Shauna is quite swole. A Johnny, okay then.
But we could be much greater with me.
Now, I'm like super dead, right? Aren't I like super? I can block one of them. There's 2, 4. I feel like they should just be attacking me. I think it's incorrect for them to be doing this. She's taking way too much damage to save. She's a goner.
I always survive. You'll see.
I'll Jadelight Ranger first. Alright. God! I do this all the time when I stream. God dang it, why do I keep doing this? For what it's worth, I don't actually think it's going to matter too much, because I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. Let's see, so I have to chump Shauna. Then they have 12 times a 2. 6 times a 2. That's 7. Why can't I... 7 times a 3. Oh, I guess it didn't matter. But no, I'm fairly certain I am just actually dead. 4 times 3, 12. No, I guess I'm alive. No, I'm not dead, Pride. Wait, what is this? Oh, sure. Whatever, I'm dead. Ow. 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 So, one card I did consider but didn't actually put in the deck, I don't think I even put it in the sideboard, is the Raging Ferocidon, I believe is what it is. It enters the battlefield and deals 1 damage to each creature. That would help against tokens, but I think tokens is probably the hardest deck for this deck to beat, just because of the fact that they go so wide, and we're playing like 1 Chungus a turn, so. Still, if we end up being, what, 6-1? Totally fine, or 7-1 if we win this game. Hell, even 6-2 is totally good with me. This is not a good hand. I don't have any red, man. I want to keep it real bad. This was a better decision. This was a much better decision. So I can Paradise Druid into a Domri. Can't really Domri into anything, though. So this is very possibly a feather deck. But if it is a slow one, which is helpful. I could also just go Rekindling Phoenix, Boros Challenger. Makes me think that playing Rekindling Phoenix is the correct decision here. Also, makes my Ghalta cheap. Let's see what you have, opponent. Lava Coil. Rude. How dare you, sir? So I could play Vivien. Could also play Domri. Problem is, if I -3 my Domri, then he dies. I think I'll do this. Plus up my Vivien.
Every fight makes me stronger.
Do I want another mountain? If I get another mountain, I can Domri. Math is hard. Domri plus and cast a rhythm. Wait. Do I have to use this one on creatures? No. So I guess this is fine. Sure. Yeah. It's possible I could have just taken the Jadelight and hoped that I drew another land, but I wanted the sure thing, you know. So my opponent has played a Challenger and a Lava Coil. No! I can't believe you've done this.
Scars are lessons written in skin.
Alright, that's fine. Discord, shut up.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
I don't have 2 green. Shit. I should have Branchwalkered first. I mean, I'm taking Rhonas though. How can I not? No! Alright, I'll do this, I guess. I wanted to play Rhythm of the Wild.
Oh, this ain't gonna be one of those quiet riots.
And got a land. Cha-chinga. So we got 2 Planeswalkers going well. Got a Branchwalker to blah 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 block. Our opponent might kill this one as well. Double Lava Coil. Tajic. What ass rude. That said, if you attack with Tajic, he's dead. Oh my god, the Mad Lad, is he actually gonna do it? You fool. Where's Tajic? He's unprotected. He dies. No, my Vivien, she goes to 2, who cares?
You'll have to do better than that.
So I'm going to plus my Vivien.
Meet my newest friend.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's see. Can I play Rhythm Wild? That leaves me with... Why can't I do it? 6? It's 9 total mana? Or, it's 7 total mana, you dumbass? Which means no, I can't. But what I can do is go ahead and plus...
You're gonna hurt when this is through.
Do one of these. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a haste. I'm gonna go ahead and all attack in. And gonna go ahead and then drop in a 12 power creature, putting my opponent down to 2. Ooh, it's too easy. We're gonna end the day at 7-1, 6-1, whatever, who cares? I think it's 7-1, which is just ridiculous, frankly. Yeah, you're still dead. Got there. Cha-ching. We ended at 7-1 today. That is stupid. It wasn't unranked. For what it's worth, we were playing an unranked. You know, so we weren't going against the top tier decks. But if you're just looking to have some fun, Boar God's got the fun for you. I'm going to talk real briefly about some of these cards that weren't actually in there. Pellet Collector, as I said, this card has been in like green Stompy decks, but I felt that it wasn't sufficient for what I was looking for here. Growth Chamber Guardian, if you wanted to have a little bit more of a real mid-range deck that just happened to have Ilharg, Growth Chamber Guardian is just a really valuable mid-range card. Crawler Pooner is definitely a good sideboard option for any deck that's like this, where you really want to be able to deal with flyers. Thorn Lieutenant is something that you can add if you want to fight against kind of like removal heavy builds. This is a lot more defensive card as well because of the fact that it's a 2/3, but the fact that you can get value out of this when it's targeted by removal is very helpful. Lava Coil, if you want removal, here it is. Bond of Flourishing. I had this in the deck at first because of the fact that you are able to get a permanent and I believe everything in the deck is a permanent. So this can hit legit anything that you need. But it itself is not a permanent, which kind of messes up the rest of our numbers and things. So I was like, eh. The gain 3 life is nice, but overall I was like, man. Vivien's Arcbow is something that like I really thought would work in the deck, but it just doesn't, because I literally when I was practicing in my mind, I would always just rather have played a creature instead of having to Vivien's Arcbow for it, if that makes sense. Because I didn't have enough card draw to justify the discard, and I didn't have enough mana acceleration to justify the X cost. So Domri's Ambush, another good removal because of the fact that it hit Planeswalkers as well. That said, it's a sorcery speed card, and I don't care. Finale of Devastation, very similar to Arcbow. I didn't have the requisite amount of mana to really use this effectively, and you pretty much were never getting 10 in this deck. I do plan on making a Devastation deck. It's probably going to be Elf Ball that uses Finale of Devastation as well as Banefire, but we'll see. Ranging Raptors, I thought I might need help with lands. I didn't. Reclamation Sage, very cool card to play with Ilharg because of the fact that she comes in and blows up an artifact and enchantment. That said, there aren't a ton of those running around, so not really necessary. Also, she's a pretty weak body. Thrashing Bronodon is kind of her alternate. However, the fact that the sacrifice itself means that not nearly as good. Steel of Champion, as I said, with Pel Collector, it's not a mono green deck. We're trying to play with Ilharg. It helps with Ghalta, but who cares? Colossal Majesty. It is card draw, and a lot of times we are going to have the ability to get card draw off of this, but we don't want to be playing a 3-mana enchantment. We want to be playing a 3-mana creature or a 3-mana enchantment that gives all of the rest of our creatures real dank haste. So yeah, Vivien Champion of the Wilds. This is probably a card that I would include in the deck, looking at the numbers. The flash is kind of unnecessary. You can, catch people in certain scenarios by playing out a flash death touch creature, something like that. But what's really nice about Vivien is very similar to 4-mana Domri, is that you can actually get a creature, which is nice. Because we're running like 27 creatures, something like that, you can justify cutting a few creatures. However, we are kind of glutted at the 3-drop spot. Geez, words are hard. If I were to suggest taking out a card for Vivien, it would be probably a couple of Jadelight Rangers. Yeah, probably. Getting Vigilance and Reach is also nice as well, but it's kind of ancillary. Goreclaw. She only triggers when she attacks, and because of the fact that Ilharg puts them in attacking, she doesn't really work very well in this deck. She makes our things cost less, but who cares? Nullhead Ferox. We're playing plenty non-creature spells. They're all permanents, but the fact that we can't cast the spells except for a 2-mana surcharge is too excessive for what I'd like. Demanding Dragon. Really cool with Ilharg, but I needed my spots for 5, so no. Nissa, Who Shakes the World, is cool and all, but she only doubles forest mana, so not very good. The Carnage Tyrant, it's just not as cool, it's not as fun as the other fun ofs in the super high spot, so it's like meh. Verdant Summons Avatar is kind of just a worse Pelakka Wurm in this deck, so I was like no. And then Polyraptor is really fun, but unfortunately it just couldn't make the cut for me, so I binned it. Cindervines, fantastic sideboard card against Control. Collision Colossus is unnecessary in this deck, but I just wanted to mention it. Growing of Itlimoc, we never really have a surplus of creatures on board. We very often have a few Chungi, so that's why this isn't very good. Striker and Ceiling only works on cast. You don't cast things with Ilharg, so no. Samet, she gives things haste, but Riot gives them haste, so why is she here? Nikia of the Old Ways, very similar to Nullhead Ferox. Getting the additional mana is really cool, but the fact that we can't play our enchantments and planeswalkers is kind of lame. Itali, very similar to Goreclaw, triggers on attacking. We put things in with Ilharg, they don't attack. Mirror March, I really was tempted to put this in the deck again. Decided against it because it has never worked for me. Not really. And Race Forerunners, it costs too much. It will be an elf ball, but not this deck. Let's go ahead and buy some packs though. I hope this video was entertaining because goddamn, it was fun to play. And it did so much better than it should have. Open packs. Open packs. I think I'm gonna name like in the thumbnail, I think I'll put something about Lord of the Flies, because I remember there was like a boar's head that they put on a pike or something like that. I actually enjoyed reading Lord of the Flies when I was in high school. Yeah, I mean, that was fun. I'd like to, of course, thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander, Croft, Zin, and Rexel for the continued support. If you'd like to join them supporting me on Patreon, you'll find links to that down in the description below. Or you can just hit that sweet join button and become a channel member functionally with $5 patron. In the description, you'll also find links to the Discord server, where we chat and play games, as well as a link to the Aetherp account where I host all of my deck lists, including this one. I do, of course, hope that you've enjoyed this porky video, whatever, shut up. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, cast a comment to the comment section down below, pass the vid, and the turn to some of your friends. And until next time, all be one. Oink.